Today we head to Xenia to play a golf course on its second life, a golf course mulligan, if you will. Stick around and we'll tell you all about it. Welcome back to Subpar Golf Reviews for our first review of 2022.
It's been far too long.
We do this all the time. We have grand plans and then we slack.
Life gets in the way sometimes.
It does, it's true. But we took an Independence Day trip to Xenia, Ohio today to play Jasper Hills, the artist formerly known as Sebastian Hills.
Correct.
What's the scoop on that?
Well, they started Sebastian Hills, I think, in early 2000s or something like that. 2017, they had to shut it down, and I think they just started opening this up this year with the new name Jasper Hills. Hills is important. There are a lot of hills here.
And I didn't expect that because on the drive here, it looked like it was all kind of pretty flat area, but it was kind of a pleasant surprise when we got here and saw all the elevation change. Mm-hmm. Made for a interesting round of golf. Interesting
is a good word.
Let's just kind of go through the pros and cons of Jasper Hills. One thing that we have to lead off with here, and this is a similar situation to the one that we had at Beckett Ridge a couple years ago, since this course is recently reopened with new ownership and lots going on. There are things here that aren't 100% done.
Yeah, they've got a lot of work to do, but it's understandable. I guess part of the time when they were down, in between the name change, a few residents decided to take over a couple of the holes and try to maintain them. But the rest of the holes were just dormant for a few years.
They have a cute little clubhouse. They don't have a lot in the way of a pro shop, but they've got some nice apparel. Mm-hmm. And everyone here at check-in was extremely friendly and helpful and gave us the scoop on the golf course. They've got a beautiful little restaurant area. The only problem is that it isn't open yet.
Yeah, they've got a lot of things that they are still trying to get together here. A lot of things.
We were very hungry today and hoping they had bratwurst, and they don't have anything. But they've got some snacks, so we loaded up on some Snickers bars and Powerades and Corona Premiers now.
Absolutely. And I had a Twisted Tea earlier, which was just as good.
Javon's resorted to drinking, based probably on our play today.
Absolutely.
It was a real struggle. Javon and I've had a lot going on this summer, and we really haven't, outside of playing in a 9-hole league. This is only my second 18-hole round of the year.
Yeah, I haven't been out too much either, but we need to work on that.
We do. We actually have some viewer requests, one of them to go back out to Beckett Ridge and see what kind of progress they've made. My understanding is that they've done a lot of the things they told us they were going to do. Sounds like they still don't have a clubhouse, so it's going to be a very similar situation to what we have here today at Jasper Hills.
I am looking forward to seeing what improvements they've made, though.
Yeah, me too. So that's on the agenda. We also had a viewer request to go out to Hamilton and play Walden Ponds.
Right.
Now, we have played Walden Ponds before, but we haven't done a review, so we're going to try to get out and do both of those courses over the next few weeks. We got a little bit of Friday afternoon free time that we're going to get out and play some golf and hopefully do some additional reviews.
Got to get her done.
We do.
Let's talk about this course, though. I would say that most of the focus that they've tried to take care of is on the greens.
Yeah, I agree. The greens are in really good condition. And it seems like the folks here in Xenia have some good golf etiquette as well. Some of the courses we play, the greens get really beat up from people not repairing their ball marks and trudging across the greens with their soft spikes and just making a mess of things. I didn't see any of that here today.
Yeah, the greens were in really good shape. Like I said, they seem to have paid the most attention to the greens. However, you know, there are different categories of golf courses. You know, we've got some of the higher end courses that we've reviewed, like the Yankee Traces and the Heatherwoods, where, you know, their tee boxes are pristine, the greens are pristine, the fairways are, you know, different type of grass, and they're very well manicured, and there's a very, very clear differentiation between the rough and the fairway. And then there are a lot of golf courses around here that are kind of more of the municipal variety, where you know, the fairway grass is cut a little shorter than the
Right.
rough grass. The tee boxes are, once again, cut a little shorter. But it's just not that that upper level kind of championship course. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's plenty of room for all kinds of golf courses like that. And
Sure.
this one kind of falls into that category. And it was super fun to play. I really enjoyed it. It was really hot today, and it was really
Yes,
crowded. Of
really
course,
crowded 4th of July weekend.
we committed the cardinal sin here. We came out on not only a holiday weekend, but on a holiday. And we ended up playing as a twosome. That wasn't the plan, but you know, when you do that, you're just asking for a long day, and that's what it ended up being. We had several holes, especially late in the round, where there were 3 groups on the tee box waiting. So it got a little bit lengthy, and I don't really hold the golf course responsible for that. I think it's just, you know, it's a holiday, it's crowded, it's hot, and this is a little bit of a tough golf course. There are quite a few trees here.
Yeah, you got to hit it straight, for sure. You got to stay in the middle of the fairway.
I went through a lot of golf balls today.
We did.
I can
We
tell you
went through a
that.
lot of golf balls
We
today.
went through a lot of golf balls today.
did.
And the ranger joked with us on the first tee that especially the front 9 is very tight. There are a lot of trees. And that seems to be a trend of the courses we've reviewed recently, is that you got to keep them in play. You got to
Right.
keep them in the fairway or you're in big trouble. And that
Yeah.
was definitely the case here.
An errant shot can get you in big trouble here.
Absolutely.
For sure.
There are some real highlights at this golf course, though, and some of the things that you can see being kind of a newer mulligan course. They might have the best golf carts, at least the best gas carts around.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
They've got
For sure.
pimped out wheels. They've got like racing steering wheels.
And they've got Bluetooth.
They have Bluetooth speakers built in, so there's a code on the roof of each cart, so you can pair your phone and listen to music throughout the day, which was pretty cool.
Another thing that was really cool is the signage. I mean, they focused their attention on the signage as well as the greens.
And we've criticized some other courses for not having clear signage. These people at Jasper Hills have fantastic signage. There are signs everywhere.
signs.
They got signs for cart returns. They got signs telling you which way to turn, what tunnels to go through.
Their wayfinding is perfection.
Yeah, it's
for sure.
really good. In fact, I don't know if there's a better course that we've played so far in terms of wayfaring. So they get top marks for that and for the pimped out golf carts, which were pretty good too.
And it was important to have that signage in that condition because the course is kind of spread out, especially when you leave and go to the backside.
Yeah, there's one point where you go through a tunnel under the road, which I was glad to see because some of the courses we've played make you go across dangerous streets.
Yes.
They have the underground tunnel method, which felt much safer and fun to go through and yell things, like we're 8 years old or something. But yeah, at one point you do. It's probably like around hole 13 or so. You go under the road and then to kind of far
It's
away.
quite a drive to get to the next hole.
I wouldn't want to walk that, but you play several holes there, then come back for the last couple holes. So the signage was really important for that part of the trip.
And I think we mentioned it before. The staff here has been excellent. They emphasize the fact that, hey, we're new, we're just getting started. We know that we have a lot of things to work on. We know that we need to get our food in order, so on and so forth. So I expect them to make some improvements here. To what degree, we don't know. It looks like a lot of the fairways could use a lot of watering.
Yeah, it's incredibly dry out here.
Yes.
And my concern is that it's July the 4th, and it hasn't rained here forever, right? It's been really hot this summer. I know my yard at home is all brown and starting to crust up. My concern is that, when they get to like mid-August here,
They won't have any grass
dude, it's
left.
going to look like the Sahara at this golf course unless we start getting some rain. Or, I don't know what the condition of the irrigation system is here, but there are spots on this golf course, with the exception of the greens, that really could use some water.
And the variation between, the difference, I should say, between the green condition and the fairway, it's like
Yes.
two different teams of people are taking care of them because
It's
the
night and
greens are
day.
really great. Yeah.
So I don't know. You can't control the weather, so I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens there. I was in a couple bunkers today. The bunkers are pretty good. They're full of sand and
Fluffy
it's,
sand.
It's good sand, no rocks and none of that nonsense. I think general practice you want to avoid the bunkers, but
However,
sometimes you end up there. Today was especially challenging with the really dry fairways too, because
they were so hard.
balls rolled out forever.
Oh my goodness.
So, sometimes you inadvertently end up in a bunker on a shot that had no business going in a bunker. So, we did that.
What else we got?
We should probably start getting to the point where we're discussing what kind of score we're going to give this place.
Yeah, I think the problem we're going to have is the same problem we had with Beckett Ridge, where it's kind of in a state of flux here. So I would say that this is the kind of golf course where you come out with your buddies and have some beers and have a good time and play golf.
Yeah.
It's not going to score as well as some of the premier courses that we played in the area.
Once they get the kitchen and the restaurant together, this might be a great location to have like an outing or something.
This would be a tough golf course for an outing.
It'd be tough, but I mean, you know, the price should be decent. You know, we'll see.
We paid about $50 today through Golf Now. I don't know what the normal green fees are.
It's a holiday, yeah.
If they charge a little more for the holidays, which would kind of fall in line with most of the courses around here and what they do on the holiday weekends. We'll see though, once they have the restaurant open and they've got a few more amenities, then we'll come back and see what they're charging for green fees. They do have a nice practice green that you can warm up on. They do have a small driving range where you can hit some balls and get ready for your round, come out and practice a little bit.
And we've been at courses that did not have either.
Yeah, quite a few of the courses we played recently didn't have a driving range. So once again, that's a nice thing about this golf course. And Javon mentioned earlier how nice everybody was. And they did have one cool thing that many golf courses recently haven't had. They had somebody out on the course selling drinks and snacks.
And we needed them.
And it was so hot today, and she could not have been sweeter. She was so nice, and she hooked us up with some Powerades and some...
It's interesting, the staff here that we talked to, it's almost like they really care about this course.
Yeah, everybody
they weren't just
seems,
here for an hourly wage.
Everybody seems really, very invested in the success of the golf course, which is cool, and that translated really well, and it kind of got us more excited about the place.
Sure.
So, in terms of score, right now without the restaurant, I think I'm leaning towards the low sixes.
I'm on board with that.
Maybe
That's where
something in like a 6.3 range.
6.2, 6.3, yeah. That sounds about right. Like you mentioned earlier, it would be nice to come back and see it after they've made some correction. But for now, 6.2, 6.3, 6.3.
We'll give them 6.3 on potential. They've got a lot of good things going for them here. The golf course is really fun to play.
Yes.
There is a lot of elevation change. We mentioned the condition of the greens. There's also good variety in the greens. You'll find different size, different shape, different grade. There's a lot of good roll on these greens.
There wasn't very much water on this course either, was there?
There were a couple of ponds.
Just a couple of holes?
Fortunately, they didn't really come into play for us, which is good.
Yep.
But I enjoyed playing here today. I would come back and play here again. In fact, I'd love to come back out once they get the food service going, because the little restaurant area is really nice. They've done a really good job with the design.
And it sounds like they're close to getting the restaurant open.
I think somebody mentioned like a week.
Yeah.
So maybe we just came like a week too early.
Yep.
But I would come back and play here again. It's a little bit of a scenic hike coming from south of town, but it wasn't too bad.
Not bad at all. Coming from, this is in Xenia, I live in Beaver Creek, it wasn't bad for me at all.
All right. Well, until next time, thanks for watching. And if you're in the Xenia area, come out and check out Jasper Hills. I think you'll like it. I think you'll have a good time playing this golf course.
I agree. Until next time.
Take care.
Bye-bye.